Hello and welcome. I'm your guide through the essentials of modern hospitality operations, and I'm so glad you're joining me. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a process that can literally make or break a new hotel or restaurant, and that's OS&E procurement. Think of it as the unseen engine that has to be running perfectly for you to deliver a flawless guest experience right from day one. So, picture this. It's the grand opening of a brand new luxury restaurant. The air is electric, the critics are seated, and everything, I mean everything, is supposed to be perfect. But then, what happens when the bar runs out of clean wine glasses halfway through the first seating? That one simple oversight, not having enough glassware, can bring the entire operation to a screeching halt. And it's not just a minor hiccup, you know? It's a disaster that can seriously damage a brand's reputation before it even gets off the ground. So, how do the best in the business avoid these nightmares? Well, they master that unseen engine we talked about, operating supplies and equipment, or as we all call it, OS&E procurement. Now, this is so much more than just making a shopping list. OS&E is the super meticulous, detail-obsessed process of getting every single non-food item you need to be fully operational. It really is the foundational backbone of any successful opening. And the scope of what falls under OS&E, it's just staggering. We're talking about everything from the fine china on the tables and all the glassware for the bar, to the silverware, the linens, the trays, and even the cleaning supplies in the back. Every single tool of the trade is covered here. So where on earth do you begin? Well, the whole process is built on a foundation of precision, and that starts with something called the specification blueprint. This is where you define the exact requirements for every single item. You know, choosing a dinner plate isn't just about how pretty it is. It's a critical operational decision. Is it tough enough for a commercial dishwasher? How well does it stack? Because, storage space is gold. Does it chip easily? Does the shape even work for how your chef wants to plate the food? Every choice is a blend of operational and financial thinking. And this brings us to a huge checkpoint, accountability. Before you spend thousands of dollars, the food and beverage leader has to physically hold, test, and approve a final sample. That signature, it's the ultimate quality control. It guarantees there are no nasty surprises when the pallets start arriving. Okay, so once you know what you need, we get to the most critical analytical part of this whole process, figuring out exactly how much of everything you need. It's such a simple question, right? But the answer is really complex. How many forks, how many napkins, how many wine glasses does it actually take to run a seamless operation? Let me tell you, guessing is not an option when your reputation is on the line. The professional's answer to this question is the par level. This isn't just some random inventory number. It's the calculated minimum you must have in-house at all times to guarantee you never, ever run out mid-service. And we don't determine it with a gut feeling. We determine it with a formula. This simple calculation is a core skill for any hospitality leader. It takes the guesswork out of it and replaces it with cold, hard, data-driven precision. All right, let's break this down. It's pretty logical. First, you figure out your maximum daily use. A good rule of thumb is 1.5 times your total seats to account for turnover. Second, you multiply that by 2. Why? Because one set is on the tables and the other is in the wash. Makes sense, right? And finally, you add a safety stock, about 10 to 20%, as a buffer for breakage or that unexpected rush. Let's see this in action. For a 150-seat restaurant, you don't just order 150 forks. As you can see from the math, you need almost 500. This is exactly the kind of detailed breakdown that separates the amateurs from the pros and ensures you're truly ready for business. And the stakes for getting this calculation right are incredibly high. If your part is too high, you've just wasted a ton of capital and inventory that's collecting dust in a storeroom. If it's too low, you're basically planning for a service failure. The goal isn't just to have a lot of stuff. The goal is precision. Okay, so our quantities are precisely calculated. Now we move into the final phase, turning all those purchase orders into a perfectly timed operational reality. So it's really important to understand where this money comes from. That first big OS&E purchase is a one-time capital expenditure, or CapEx. It's part of the startup budget. But replacing those items as they break over time, like wine glasses, that comes out of your day-to-day operating expense, or OpEx, budget. Managing both is absolutely key to long-term financial health. And this is not a solo decision. That final purchase order is a strategic document. It needs a signature from the head of F&B, who's confirming the operational need. and another one from the head of finance, who's confirming it actually fits the budget. It's a true partnership.
Now, timing is everything. The logistics of the launch follow a super strict strategic sequence. The OS&E delivery happens only after construction is done and the site is clean. But, and this is critical, before staff training begins. This order of operations is completely non-negotiable for a smooth opening.
So why is this schedule so rigid? Because it means your team gets to train with the actual tools of the trade. They're not practicing with stand-ins. They're building real muscle memory with the exact plates, glasses, and trays they'll be using when that very first guest walks in. Everything we've just walked through, from writing the specs, to calculating par levels, to timing the delivery, this isn't just a to-do list. This is a core competency for any future leader in our industry. It's the science that makes the art of hospitality possible. And that leaves us with one final thought I want you to carry with you. Greatness in hospitality is never an accident. It's the result of meticulous planning and disciplined systems. So, as you continue on your journey, keep asking yourself this: how will you ensure your operation is built on a foundation of precision and not just left up to chance?